Hi, Trav. So today I'm going to share with you the top 5 books that I have about relationships and why is relationships really important when it comes to emotional eating. And it's funny that you say that. Well, a lot of my clients, when things go wrong with their partner, then they turn to food as a way to fuel those emotions. So what I'd like to do is actually give them tools and strategies around their relationship so they don't resort to food. And we just slowly build one strategy on top of another. So a lot of the information that I share with my clients come from these 5 books, and I thought I'd share with you today. The first one is Matthew Hussey's How to Get the Guy. Now, it's not really a relationship book, but it's actually about seeing yourself as a high value woman and actually learning to communicate with everybody and anybody. And those skills can obviously be taken into the workplace, but also your relationship as well. So that one's Matthew Hussey, How to Get the Guy. The next one is The 7 Principles to Making a Marriage Work, and that was by John Gottman. And if you've looked into John Gottman, he's a professor, and what he does is he puts people in a little, like an Airbnb kind of scenario where he puts heart rate monitors on a couple and sees their interaction, but also how much they perspire, how much adrenaline runs through their body. And he's basically got what he calls the love lab. And from that, he can actually predict 98% accuracy whether or not a relationship will make it. So how does he bring this work about? Well, he's got the book, 7 Principles of How to Make a Marriage Work. Really, really awesome stuff. And a few of those things that he shares in there is, one, when your partner makes a bid for connection, instead of turning away, then turn towards. So it might be your partner talks to you about their day and you actually implement active listening as opposed to just going, And the scenario at the window and sees sailboats, and she mentions this to her partner, but he just pretty much ignores her. So every time your partner makes a bid for connection, turn towards as opposed to turning away. The other one is having a common goal. So working on something together, let that be something in the community, or it might be a home project, or you might renovate something, whatever it is, but working on something together so that you actually have a common goal. The next one is having rituals around connection. So the rituals around connection could be on Sunday morning you have pancakes together, and that's what you do every Sunday. Or if it comes to the weekend and you know that Friday night you're both exhausted, you watch movies together. But all those little rituals, they actually add up to create those rituals of connection. The next one is having trust within the relationship. And this is really important so that you have that emotional connection, but not only emotional connection, but also sexual connection as well. Having trust in your relationship is really important. And then the real one that really got me was the love maps. And love maps is sharing your day and sharing and knowing about each other. What's your partner's favorite song? What's one of the dreams that he has or she has for the future, things like that, creating that love map and actually knowing a lot more about your partner. And another story that he shares in the book is a guy was a high-end surgeon, and so as you can see there was no connection or love map from the home because he didn't actually know anything about the family dog. So there, some of the principles, it's obviously not all 7, from John Gottman's book, The 7 Principles of Making a Marriage Work. Definitely highly recommend that book. You'll get a lot out of it. The next one is The Things I Wish I Knew Before I Got Married, and this is by Gary Chapman, and it's talking about love tanks. And we all have love tanks or a bank balance, and we either do things that put positivity into the relationship or we do things that take away. So if you're emptying the love tank, it might be that you guys have had an argument or a disagreement. And to put love back into the love tank, it might be that you cooked dinner for your partner. So there's different ways. And if you think about it, am I adding to their love tank or am I taking away? It'll just change your perspective on how you think about your partner. And then Gary Chapman has written the most famous book, and I absolutely love this book, and I use it both for my clients on themselves, but also in a relationship. And that's The 5 Love Languages. And if you haven't read The 5 Love Languages, it works for kids, it works for work relationships, it's your relationship yourself. And the original version is actually for relationships with a romantic or significant other. So the 5 love languages is physical touch, acts of service, giving gifts, positive affirmations, and spending time. So if it's physical touch, it might be just brushing past your partner in the kitchen and putting your hand on their shoulder. It could be acts of service like making the bed every day or washing their car. It could be gifts, and it could be just a single rose or something small that you've seen while you were out. And what that signifies to that person is that actually you're thinking of them while you're out and about doing your everyday activities. And positive affirmations, I know for certain my brother is like this. I like to give him positive affirmations. So it's just recognizing somebody for their personal traits, or that they're a generous person, or they're kind, anything that's going to lift their spirits. And then spending time, and that's that one-on-one connection time. So if that's somebody's love language, make sure you do spend time with them. Then the last one is His Needs, Her Needs, How to Affair-Proof Your Marriage. And that's by Willard F. Hardy. And there's 10 needs. In a relationship, we have 10 needs. And if we meet these 10 needs, it's also a good idea, if you've got pen and paper, or to just Google this, to actually rank what these 10 needs are and how they rank for you, because we're going to have about a top 5. So and I'm going to have to read these, family commitment, open and honestness, conversation, financial support, domestic support, sexual fulfillment, attractiveness of spouse, affection, admiration, and recreational companionship. So I'd suggest that you sketch those down, and if you've got pen and paper, do it again. I'll just read through them again. It's family commitment, honesty and openness, conversation, financial support, domestic support, sexual fulfillment, attractiveness of spouse, affectionate, admiration, and recreational companionship. So rank what are your top 5, and then talk to your partner and go, well, what are your top 5? And then make a commitment to meet each other's top 5 so that you have this fulfilling relationship. So I might repeat those books back again. The first one is Get the Guy by Matthew Hussey, 7 Principles for Making a Marriage Work, and that's by John Gottman. The Things I Wish I Knew Before I Got Married, I've just had a mind blank. 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. He also has written The Things That I Wish I Knew Before I Got Married. And His Needs, Her Needs, How to Affair-Proof a Marriage. And that's William F. Hardy. I hope this book has actually helped and you've got some new resources. Spend the weekend going out to a bookstore, finding these books, or I get a lot of my books from Booktopia, because Booktopia, they have free delivery and they're really fast and reliable. So find these books, use them as resources. With my books, I get pen and paper and also scribble all through my books, any of the really important nitty-gritty things that I'm like, oh yeah, I don't want to forget that. Scribble all over your books by all means. And then they could also make very good gifts if you're know someone that just got engaged, or a partnership and it's their housewarming party, whatever it is. They make really great gifts. If you're stuck for a gift, then a book that's full of resources would be the best gift that you could possibly give. I hope this video has helped. I'd love to hear what you think about any of these books. If you've actually read them, pop some comments down below, and have an awesome day, tribe. Take care.